People in jail and prison love to watch crime TV shows. They would pack in at night whenever there was one of those Inside Editions, and there were a couple times where people in the prison were on Inside Edition, and I always felt bad because, like, there was this elderly woman, and I don't even know what her crime was. I didn't go in and watch that stuff. First of all, I wouldn't feel good if it was me and the whole compound's watching me on the news. And I guess I felt like sometimes they skew it too, right? Like I just didn't feel like it was real. And the reason that I think that is because now I come home and I watch those crime TV shows or people in jail, and it's nothing like what I experienced. Like, they try to dramatize it and make everybody look so hardcore. And when I see that stuff, I'm like, wait a second, there's a whole bunch of people packed in a really small space and they're managing themselves so well. And I know what really goes on in jail and prison. I mean, Shawshank Redemption is kind of up there in terms of my favorite show. So I would say there's some things like that whole introspection and how it changes you from the inside, and the connection that people share, and the overwhelmingness when you get out of prison. Shawshank's pretty dead on about that. I don't know anyone that could climb their way through a sewer and get out on the other side. I mean, I guess if there was an option, but yeah, the prisons that I was at, there was no option like that. But what I experienced when I was in prison was a lot of connection, a lot of care, and a lot of nonsense. There were times where girls would just act a fool, and I'm sure the guys do too. I think that it changes you. You go through one of these experiences, like my son. I have a podcast now, and I recently had my son on it, and he was saying that it was hard to navigate that pain. He's like, I felt very alone. You know, he was 13 years old when I went to prison. He's like, none of my friends had parents in prison. I didn't know how to talk about it, and I felt very closed off. That's the stuff they should talk about with people going to prison, not all the nonsense that they show in true crime TV. So that's not my favorite. And maybe someday they'll do a movie and I'll get to be a part in that, like something a little bit more real and some of the beauty that happens in a prison.